God says heaven is whispering to you today, a message meant only for your soul. There are moments when silence becomes unbearable, when you can feel someone's energy even though miles and time separate you. You can't explain it, but your spirit knows. You can sense him. You can feel his heart call to you in the quiet hours of the night, and yet something in him feels distant, lost, as if trapped between truth and illusion. God sees this connection. He sees how deeply your heart has been intertwined with his, even when he pretends not to feel it. And today, heaven is revealing what you have felt all along. He loves you, but she still holds his heart. This is not because you are unworthy, or because he has forgotten you. No, beloved, it is because he is still entangled in something his spirit cannot yet escape. His emotions are tied to an old bond, one that has not yet been fully released. There is pain beneath his silence. There are promises made in confusion. There are wounds that have not yet healed. Heaven wants you to know this truth, not to bring you sorrow, but to bring you peace. The divine wants you to see what your human eyes cannot, that sometimes, love becomes a battlefield of souls rather than hearts. And when God is not finished writing the lesson, no matter how ready your heart feels, you must wait for the right moment of revelation. He still feels you. Every time he tries to bury the memories of you, they bloom again like wildflowers breaking through stone. Your voice, your light, your laughter, they haunt him in a way that feels like both punishment and comfort. He does not tell anyone about it. He doesn't even admit it to himself. But when he closes his eyes, you are there, in the spaces where his spirit feels most alive. Yet, there is another energy that lingers around him, the one heaven calls her. She holds a part of his heart not because she is stronger or more deserving, but because of unfinished energy. It is the weight of attachment, not the warmth of true love. She represents the part of his past that he still has to heal from, the part that makes him afraid to let go. Afraid to start anew, afraid to surrender fully to the depth of what he feels for you. God wants you to understand that this situation is spiritual warfare disguised as love. The reason it hurts so deeply is because your soul recognizes him as something more, a divine counterpart, a mirror, a sacred reflection. And yet, his soul is still battling through shadows that keep him blind to what heaven is showing him. He may appear calm, even happy on the surface. You may see him move on, post smiles, or act as though nothing inside him is breaking. But heaven says, don't be deceived by appearances. The spiritual truth is this: every time he tries to fill the space where your energy once lived, it only reminds him of how empty that space feels without you. She holds his heart, yes, but not because she nurtures it. She holds it because he gave it away in a moment of confusion and hasn't yet found the courage to take it back. Heaven says his soul knows this. Deep within him, he is restless. He feels the call of something higher, something purer, you. Your connection is not fading, it's transforming. What feels like silence from him is actually God's way of drawing you both into awakening. You are learning surrender, and he is learning truth. You are being refined in patience, and he is being stripped of illusion. Heaven is saying, do not chase what I am still healing. This pause is protection. This waiting is divine preparation. You may feel like you are losing him, but you are not. You are being led to understand that true love is not about possession, it's about alignment. God is working behind the veil, removing the layers of deception that cloud his heart. Every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every tear you've cried, all of it has been heard. Nothing has gone unseen. There will come a moment when his spirit can no longer bear the weight of pretending. That moment will break him open, and when it does, heaven will guide him back toward the light of truth. He will realize that what he thought was love was comfort, what he thought was loyalty was fear. And what he tried to bury in silence was the very thing meant to set him free. He loves you, but right now, that love is caged inside confusion. It's like a bird pressing against glass, yearning for the open sky but afraid to fly. His spirit knows he belongs to you, but his mind is still under the spell of what once was. That's why heaven is intervening. The truth is being revealed, not through words, but through divine disruption. He will start seeing signs, dreams of you, songs that echo your name, synchronicities that force him to remember what he's tried to forget. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's way of calling him home. But for now, the divine asks you to stand still in faith. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to fight for his attention. You only need to believe that what is meant for you cannot remain bound forever. She may still hold his heart today, but she cannot hold his destiny, and heaven is already loosening the grip, because when God decides to free someone, no emotional chain can remain. Heaven whispers again, "Be still, beloved." You must know that what you're feeling now is not rejection, but redirection. God is not keeping him from you, he is keeping confusion from you. The truth is being revealed slowly because hearts that are bound by old emotions must first be untied gently, or they break too harshly. The divine is protecting both of you from unnecessary pain while the healing unfolds in divine timing. He is awakening, though he does not yet realize it. There are nights when he stares into the darkness, thinking of nothing and everything all at once. He tries to quiet his thoughts, but they always lead back to you. The softness of your presence, the peace that your energy carried. He misses what he cannot name. His soul aches for something it does not understand, and that ache is you. But heaven is showing you something deeper. Love is not about rushing, not about forcing someone to see your worth. It's about allowing divine truth to open eyes that have been blinded by illusion. He is trapped in a cycle that once brought him comfort but now brings him quiet despair. The woman who holds his heart now is not his enemy, she is part of his lesson. Her presence in his life is what will awaken him to the difference between attachment and true love. Do not despise the process, for even this pain is sacred. God says, I am using this situation to awaken both of you. For you, this season is about learning trust, trusting that even in silence, heaven is moving, trusting that even when love feels far, it is not gone. And for him, it is about learning courage, courage to face his own emptiness, to let go of what feels safe but hollow, and to walk toward the truth that scares him the most, the truth that he loves you. She still holds his heart, yes, but she cannot hold it forever. There will come a day when he will wake up and realize that the feeling he calls love is merely habit. That the bond he thought was unbreakable has no roots left. The moment he recognizes that, heaven will begin the unraveling. One by one, the threads that tie him to his past will fall away, and he will find himself drawn back, not to what was easy, but to what was divine. You may wonder why God allowed your paths to cross if separation was part of the plan. But beloved, divine love is not about constant closeness, it's about awakening purpose. When you met him, something inside him began to stir. You awakened a part of his soul that had long been asleep. You reminded him what real connection feels like, not surface, not desire, but recognition. His spirit recognized you. And that terrified him. Because when the soul meets its mirror, it can no longer live in illusion. He is running not from you, but from himself. The love you carry is too pure, too exposing. It reflects every shadow he's tried to hide. And so he clings to what feels familiar, the past, the old bond, the woman who mirrors his unhealed pain rather than his divine truth. But do not be afraid. What belongs to light can never remain in darkness. Sooner or later, the truth rises. And when it does, no one can stop it. Heaven says there will come signs, small at first, but clear. He will begin to see through her. Conversations that once flowed will start to feel empty. Things that once comforted him will now bring restlessness. He will begin to crave the peace he only found in your presence. He will wonder why he feels lost when he is supposed to be content. That's when heaven will whisper, because you are not where your soul belongs. Do not mistake his silence for indifference. He watches you quietly, in spirit if not in body. He feels your prayers, your energy, your compassion even from afar. Every time you think of him with love instead of bitterness, heaven uses that energy to soften his heart. You are being used as a vessel of healing, even without words, but you must also release him to God. You cannot be both healer and savior. The divine will finish what you began. He must walk his own path of realization. Let God fight for you, because God's way of healing hearts is more powerful than any message, any action, any plea. Heaven says, when the truth is revealed, you will understand why the wait was necessary. The person he will become after this lesson will not be the same one who left you in confusion. He will come back transformed, not because you demanded it, but because God prepared him. There is a stirring in the spiritual realm right now, a quiet rearranging that you cannot yet see but can already feel. You have sensed it in your spirit, haven't you? The sudden rush of emotion that comes from nowhere. The dreams where his face appears clearer than ever. The way your heart beats faster when you think of him, as if something inside you already knows, something is shifting, heaven is preparing him to see the truth. The truth about himself, about the choices he made, and about you, the one who never stopped loving him from a place of purity. But before revelation comes, there must be breaking. God breaks illusions before he rebuilds hearts. Right now, the woman who still holds his heart is being used as the mirror of his confusion. Every word, every action, every moment that feels heavy or hollow is pushing him closer to the truth. He's beginning to see that what he once called love is now suffocation, not because she is bad, but because his soul no longer fits the life he built there. He has outgrown it. And when the soul outgrows what once comforted it, God creates discomfort to force change. You may not see this unfolding, but heaven says, do not doubt the process. His days may look normal to the world, but inside, his spirit trembles. He feels it, the distance growing, the longing he cannot explain, the emptiness that no conversation can fill. He tries to convince himself that he made the right decision. That staying where he is will bring peace. But his heart whispers otherwise. Your energy calls to him even when you're silent. He feels your love reaching across time and space like a warm wind that refuses to fade. She may still hold his heart, but it is slipping from her grasp. Every day, heaven loosens the cords that tie him there. Every day, he remembers you in moments that seem accidental but are divine in design. The scent of something familiar, the melody of a song, a passing word that carries your name, these are not coincidences. They are heaven's reminders. Heaven is saying, the truth cannot be hidden much longer. When he first met you, his soul recognized a love that transcended reason. It frightened him because it felt eternal. He tried to silence that pull, to run from it, to bury it beneath routine, but now, that love is breaking through the layers of his resistance. You planted a seed in his soul, and no matter how far he runs, that seed is growing. Soon, he will start questioning everything. He will question why he feels distant from people he once felt close to. He will question why the things that used to make him happy now bring unease. He will question why thoughts of you come in waves that won't go away. And that questioning is the beginning of awakening. God will send him dreams, vivid, unmistakable dreams where he sees you not as memory, but as truth. He will wake up feeling your energy, hearing your voice in his spirit, feeling your warmth as if you were right beside him. He may try to ignore it at first, but the signs will keep appearing until he listens. Heaven says, when I call a soul to truth, I do not stop until it awakens. But God also wants you to rest, beloved. The divine doesn't want you to carry the burden of waiting with anxiety. You are not waiting for him, you are aligning with what's meant for you. What belongs to you will rise to meet you when both your souls vibrate in truth, not in pain. Let go of the fear that he will never return. Let go of the thought that she will always win. Love cannot be taken, only delayed. What is rooted in the divine plan cannot be replaced by illusion. Heaven is orchestrating moments that will expose what's real and what's not. The truth will not come through arguments or confrontation, but through quiet divine intervention. Things will begin to crumble around him that no longer serve his spirit. His peace will disappear where deception lives. And when that happens, he will be left with one undeniable realization: the only place his soul ever felt free was with you. He will remember the way your presence brought him calm. The way your eyes reflected his light instead of his shadow. The way you saw the best in him even when he couldn't see it himself. And in that remembering, his heart will begin to return, not out of guilt, not out of loneliness, but out of awakening. This is why heaven asks you to stay in faith. You cannot see the full picture yet because God is still painting it. Every unanswered question is a stroke on the canvas of destiny. Every tear you've shed has watered the soil of transformation. The moment of truth will come suddenly. It will come through something small, a conversation, a realization, a silence that speaks louder than words. And when it comes, his spirit will break open. He will see clearly that love cannot be built on convenience. He will realize that the one who truly held his heart all along was the one who loved him without condition, you. Heaven says, when that day arrives, you will not have to chase, you will not have to prove, you will not even have to speak. He will know. And the chains that once kept him bound will fall. The energy that once held him back will dissolve. The woman who still holds his heart now will release him, not because she wants to, but because heaven will make it so. Everything that is not aligned with divine truth must surrender when God moves. Your story is not ending in pain, it is being rewritten in purpose. You were never meant to lose. You were meant to wait until divine timing turned loss into revelation. So stand in your light, beloved. Keep praying, keep believing, but most importantly, keep healing. The more you rise, the more his spirit feels the pull to rise too. You are the light that guides him out of darkness, even when you do not realize it. Heaven is revealing the truth, piece by piece. The storm is not punishment, it's the pathway to freedom, and soon, what was hidden will be shown. What was bound will be released. What was delayed will finally arrive, because when God writes love, no human hand can erase it. Heaven is quiet tonight, but within that quiet, something sacred is moving. The threads of destiny are pulling tight. You may not see it yet, but the final chapter of this long spiritual lesson is being written. Heaven says, the storm is ending. The truth has spoken. He has reached the turning point. The silence that once protected his illusions has become unbearable. The mask he wore to survive no longer fits. Every time he tries to convince himself that he is fine where he is, a heaviness presses on his spirit. His laughter feels forced, his peace feels temporary, his heart feels borrowed. What once felt like home now feels like a cage. Heaven says he has begun to see clearly, not through his eyes, but through his soul. The truth is revealing itself in the smallest of ways. Conversations that used to soothe him now leave him empty. Smiles that once blinded him now look hollow. He looks at her and realizes she holds his heart only because he never took it back. He understands now, love cannot live where the soul feels trapped. He feels your energy again, soft yet powerful, calling him home to himself first, and then to you. There are moments when he almost reaches out, when his fingers hover over your name, when his heart beats so loudly he cannot ignore it. He remembers the way you made him feel, safe, inspired, whole. He sees now that your love was never about control, it was about connection. You loved him from your spirit, not your need. And that kind of love never fades. Heaven says, he will return, but not the same man who left. He will come as someone who has seen the difference between illusion and truth. Someone who knows now what it means to be loved without condition. Someone who has walked through darkness and finally chosen light, and when that moment arrives, you will not need to ask, why now? Because your spirit will already know. The wait, the silence, the pain, it was never wasted. It was the making of both of you, but the divine also wants you to understand this. His return is not your completion, it is the reflection of your own healing. You did not wait in vain, you evolved. You rose beyond heartbreak and turned pain into prayer. You became who you were always meant to be, the one who can love without losing herself. Heaven is smiling upon you now. The angels have witnessed your tears, your faith, your surrender. Every night you spent wondering if God heard you, He did. And now, the answer is arriving, not through words, but through transformation. The woman who still held his heart, she was never your rival. She was a vessel of his awakening. Her presence revealed his wounds, her energy exposed his fears. And when that cycle completes, she will fade, not out of punishment, but because her purpose is fulfilled. Heaven says, you need not resent her. Bless her and release her. She played her part in God's greater plan. Your connection was always destined to pass through fire. But that fire did not destroy, it purified. It burned away illusion, attachment, and fear until only truth remained, and the truth is this: love never left. It simply transformed. The love that once broke you is now healing you. The love that once confused you is now teaching you. The love that once felt impossible is now unfolding in divine order. Heaven says, you will see signs of this restoration soon. You will feel it before it arrives, a deep calm that replaces longing, a quiet knowing that something has finally shifted. You will stop chasing closure because your spirit will already sense completion.